I'm real.
No, Maria.
You know what? I wonder who was first. You were Maria.
Maria.
Oh, okay. Maria. Hello, everyone on Zoom. How's everybody?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Juan, for responding. Ay, ay, ay. We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. So I'm going to give it another minute or two while you guys all sign on. So, is it 10:30? It's 10:31. Let's get started. All right, first, let me hide my meeting. If you are on Zoom, please mute yourself. Okay, so I actually wanted to start today with a little bit of a market update because there are some interesting things happening in this crazy market of ours. So, hi Maria. We were just talking about you.
Yeah.
Well, we were wondering because we were saying how Claudia's she was an original Boca agent and we weren't sure, but you were an agent before.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Let me keep going. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the market update before we welcome our new agents. So what do you guys think when at this the response to the question of whether or not sales will rise or fall?
Sales will never go down.
What do you mean like?
So this
Volume?
question actually specifically is talking about volume. Yeah.
Volume, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say it's gonna level out. I think it's still gonna be, because we're still going into the spring.
Right.
So right now, I do feel like it's more condos being sold. So I don't really see it going down in our market because there's just not enough supply for the demand that's coming up. So I think sales will get higher.
Okay. The volume, you think the
The
volume?
volume's gonna get higher. just
Okay.
because we're coming into that season where people are going to want to cash in.
Okay, so essentially what I think is so interesting from even just 2 weeks ago to today, what's changed is that experts are now divided. And basically, Roni, kind of what you said, half of them, well, I'm gonna give you the numbers in a second, but the question is, will buyers balk at the lack of affordable pricing, right? The unaffordable prices.
And do you feel like they already are?
Yeah, I
Right.
think we already are.
I've heard
Because
them
some are,
saying
and
that,
I
yeah.
think some are, and some people still don't care.
Right. So, but if buyers decide, if more buyers than not say prices are too high, we're going to stop. We're going to wait, or we're not going to buy now. That's going to cause the volume to go down, kind of like what you were saying, ish. Or there's another side to the coin, which is that more homeowners are going to start listing, and if that happens, then the volume will go up. So, what I think is so interesting is that it's incredibly divided. So the numbers are, so how many of you guys do you think, well, I already told you guys approximately, but basically 41% of experts and economists are saying that sales, the quantity, the volume is going to grow. Another 41% predict a slowdown. So that's pretty much exact. And then 18% think it'll level out. Oh, shoot. It said 18%, but essentially what I'm trying to explain is that they are completely split about whether or not there's going to be a slowdown or whether there's going to be more sales happening. So that specifically, I'm referring to sales quantity, the volume of actual transactions. What I think is the most important thing that I want all of you guys to memorize, this is a great stat. So you can talk about the fact that one thing that experts do agree on is that home prices and home values will grow. So everyone that says, well, you know, Mike, I'm going to wait because I think prices are going to drop. You can actually respond and say that according to experts and studies and what the economists are saying, is that it's going to grow 6.6% in the next year. And this is the kicker for me. 23.5% over the coming 5 years. So most people are on a 5-year plan, right? When they're buying real estate, they're expecting to live there for 5 years. This stat is so powerful because you get to look at somebody and say, you know what, Mike, what experts are saying, what everyone agrees on, is that in the next 5 years, the home value is going to increase by 23.5%. Wow. Right? So it's all about kind of how you spin the information. But what we're trying to encourage here is for people not to get scared of buying, but to actually say, you know what, it's a good time to buy because I'm going to build equity over the next 5 years and I'm going to come back and be able to get my money out. Yes. Or Kyle had his hand up for, yeah.
Just so I can use that?
Yeah.
Any idea where those stats came from?
Yes, it was in the Florida Realtors article that came out this morning.
Okay,
I can send you a link. I think I have it somewhere up on my screen. So after the meeting is over, I'll send you guys the link with all of this is spelled out. These two slides, I pulled the data from 2 articles in the Florida Realtor magazine. I think I sent you the link actually. So we'll send that out so you guys can read it and remember this, but this is according to Florida Realtors, but in the Realtor article, it says specifically who said that.
okay.
So is that nationwide or is it just for?
This
It's
is-
gonna be.
This is specific to Florida,
Boom, that's all I need to hear.
right?
Where's my phone?
So I'm excited about this stat. I want you guys to memorize this stat. And the reason why I think it's such an important stat is because I think numbers can help us kind of address some of the concerns that, oh, I don't want to buy now because what if prices aren't going to go up and then I'm going to get stuck. This kind of quiets that, right? Do you guys see how this is important? Cool. Okay, so that was our little market update. We have a lot of new faces around. So hold on. Is there anyone new on Zoom?
Anybody new on Zoom? Yeah, Amanda's on there.
Well, she was-
Stephanie's on
So,
there.
well, we have some headshots of some of the new people. So I'd like to officially, we already welcomed Amanda. We'll welcome you again. Amanda, Stephanie, Stacy, Charlie, we have your beautiful headshots here. We also have Jeremy sitting here in the room. Welcome to Jeremy.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be with you guys. I currently just left physical therapy, but I'll be in the office shortly. So I'll see you guys all soon.
Thank you, Amanda. That sounds good. We have Lillian, Diane, and Karina. So if your name is on the right, it's because we don't have a headshot. So Jeremy, you're one. And by the way, we're doing this thing recently where we're asking for the headshots to wear black and it kind of keeps the look consistent. So that might be something to think about, but Desiree is happy to help you coordinate a headshot if you need one. So I think these headshots look fantastic.
I know.
Very, very needed.
Yeah, kind of fits in with the whole vibe and everything that we're doing. So welcome, everyone. I wanted to remind you guys that if anybody wants 15 minutes with me, you're free to put yourself on my calendar. I know Jeremy and I are meeting after today's meeting, but this is not only for new agents, it's for existing agents or anyone that has a question or need. You guys, I mean, all of you reach out to me anyway, but I just want to make sure that I also formalize it. If you need 15 minutes of my day, that's fine. And please just put it on my calendar. Other updates. So small shift. We are changing the name of our previously known as Pod Leader program. Where it's going to be a mentor program. And part of the reason for that shift is it was never intended to be like a group versus another group. And it kind of went that direction at one point, which really didn't want. The purpose of the Premier Listings mentors is just like the definition says, they are experienced and trusted advisors. And they're here to help agents new to Premier Listings, not necessarily new to real estate, but new here, how to use our systems, how to use our resources and have optimal success. So other updates is that we've actually given John Pagan here, is going to be another mentor here in the Delray office. So I love that. I'm excited about that, John, because when we met you, you were new in real estate, and fast forward a year, now you're able to mentor others, which is really an awesome success story. So congratulations to you. Another awesome success story is Yanni, who I think is on Zoom. He is going to be assisting with all of our recruiting at our new location.
Nice.
So that is absolutely a big undertaking. We have a backlog of applicants. I think when he got back from his time out of the country, I mean, I think we had like 40 something people that were either applying or trying to join as an agent here and at our new location. Oh boy, my computer very well might run out of batteries.
Oh, boy.
You're
At least I
okay.
can take
All right,
over
let me see if I
very
can.
quickly.
Okay, do you want to do your Monopoly update?
Yeah. First of all.
I'm gonna go grab my plug. while you
Okay,
go.
so we're on week 7 of the Monopoly game. It's coming to an end because we're running out of properties and money. A lot of you have singles in your little envelopes right now. But last week, Maria took the lead as the top caller. Calls, which means she got 355 Monopoly dollars, and she got anybody that was in jail, you got their properties or their money. Pascal and collected 200. We got Maria, Ivana, Conti, Sydney, Sherry, Tobe, John, and Mark. Congratulations. Oh, got a property, so, yay. And then, let me click it. Okay, so here's where we are. Totals, I went through and added everybody's stuff. Conti, you're in the first place with 4,776, Tove, 3,071, then we have Maria, Sherry, and Ivana. And don't forget, the prize is worth $1,000. It's a $300 gas gift card, $200 restaurant gift card, and $500 cash. So this Thursday, we have Power Hour, and we're going to be giving out the rest of the properties and money. So this is your final chance to like get it.
Okay, wait, so Conti's in the lead, so that's the amount of Monopoly money he has. You have almost $5,000. It's pretty cool. Tove has 3,000, Maria has 23. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Love it. So other people that are on this list still have a chance, essentially, if they come to Power Hour and, right?
Yes. Yeah, oh yeah. On this list, yes, on the other list, no.
All right, fair enough.
Next
Cool.
slide.
I got my charger, by the way, so that's good.
Okay.
These are your slides. You want me to present them? Oh, it's not.
No.
Well, I will go ahead and present
Oh,
it then.
is
This is
yours
an
from
old,
your
yeah.
presentation?
Okay, so one thing that we thought we would do today, for those of you guys that have been at the last, I guess, 2 months of meetings, all the 2022 meetings, there's been a lot of content and training and things that we're presenting to you guys. So we wanted to kind of take today and go through some of the things we've talked about in the past, to remind you, to ask you how it's going, to kind of check in. So one thing from last week's training, we talked a lot about focusing on the human value connection, meaning connecting with people from person to person, and then also providing them value as a professional. So has anyone had any experience in the past week that they want to share where they've used it and this has worked effectively, or maybe it hasn't worked? Any feedback at all? Anyone?
I mean, I've used it before and it works. Even my imaginary client stories work sometimes.
You have imaginary client
I
stories?
have so many clients, it's insane.
So I love the imaginary client stories.
And telling the story of, oh, my client lost out on their dream home because they didn't make a strong offer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the one we can all use.
Yeah.
I heard a dog barking in the background the other day.
Uh-huh.
And they asked about the dog and, oh, I have dogs.
Yeah.
And this, that, and the other thing, and then it just kind of, it's like everybody just kind of,
Yeah.
when you talk about pets. or
Yeah, people
things,
relax a little bit when you
That's
take it
it,
to
yes.
something they really care about, like their dog. I love that story. That's a good one. Okay, so we had increased our agent referral. I just want to remind you guys because it runs through March 31st. So when the people that have referred agents to us between that period of time, January through March 31, get 15% of the company dollar for 12 months, and usually it is 10%.
And there's been a few of you that have done referrals, like, let's see, Jonathan has referred some people.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, brand new, referred an agent, and Yana.
There's a chair there.
So they're all getting 15% of the agent's company dollar for an entire year.
So I just wanted to remind you guys, and if you guys are new and didn't know that we have that incentive, we do. Leaderboard check-in, let's talk about our numbers. So Maria at the top with almost 4 million in sales, and congratulations to Ivana with almost 3 million in sales and in second place. Yay, Ivana. Tove as well, 2.5, Jonathan just under 2.4, and then Philip Walker at 2. Congratulations to our top 5. Other sales updates. Courtney. Oh, cool. Do you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, so for March, we did not make our goal, but we did very well. I
You mean
would
it?
say.
Well, hold on. February.
February.
We're in March.
Yeah.
So in February, we actually, you're talking about our pendings,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Okay, so in February, we exceeded our goal by about 1.3 million, which kind of made up a little bit because in January we were under. What you were saying, Courtney, about March is that we are under our pendings, right? So right now we have 11.5 pending for March, and our goal is to close about 18. So we're a little bit shy, and a lot shy in March, and we're also a lot shy in April because our goal increases to almost 20. These numbers, by the way, do assume 2 locations, and that's part of why March and April got so big was because the expectation was we were going to have production coming out of that office, which we haven't yet had, partially because we're waiting for the office to officially open, which is going to be on here. I think another slide. So this was interesting. Our average sale for March, or average pending for March, is 429. That's actually a pretty high. Previously, our average was about 330, so it's gone up quite a bit. And Courtney, in order to make our April goal and our March goal, if we divide our total by 39, it's 664,000 per agent, which is, I think, is very doable.
Yep.
We have talked about some other action items in order to to start hitting our goals. These were 5 things I think you talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. So just a reminder, setting your intention, thinking about the goals that you're trying to accomplish, going through your top 5. The top 5 is the people that you're actively showing homes to. Reaching out to 5 people in your sphere, calling in the pond, setting a goal of 5 quality conversations, and then trying to have up to 5 appointments per week is what we recommend. Showings, Zoom, FaceTime, anything like that. So this was a slide that Courtney, I think you found in an older presentation that we did. And it was something that I think resonated. The reason why you put it in today's presentation is because we want to remind you guys that what we are here to do is to ask you these questions, right? We're here to challenge you and try to push you just a little more, to hit your potential, to get a little bit better every day. For those of you that came to our book club on Friday, thank you, Cindy. We talked about the compound effect, which is often seen in money, right? Money compounds, it gets bigger and bigger and kind of snowballs. That also happens with us. And if you increase just 1% each day, I think it comes out to be like a 37 times improvement in whatever it is that you're working on. So sometimes I think it can be a little overwhelming in real estate because there's so many things that we have to know, from contracts to different properties, to value, to property condition, to everything else. And if you just think about getting 1% better each day and only focus on you, right? Get 1% better than you were yesterday, not to anyone else around you. Those are things I kind of want to remind you guys about. Ask yourself these questions. We want to talk a little bit about wire instructions because we're getting a lot of questions about it, and just want to make sure everyone understands. First off, on the PLWay, which is the plwa.premierlistings.com, I believe. We have a link to the wire instructions. Now, because of wire fraud, our entire account number is not there. So that prevents somebody from, let's say, trying to get or hacking, getting that document and changing the account to their own. That's why that's like that. If somebody asks you for the last 4 digits, they can call us, by the way, but there's nothing wrong with you guys knowing the last 4 digits or the full account number for any reason, for that matter. So a couple things. First off, like in my phone, I have the account number saved. You guys can also save the account number. So if anyone ever asks you about how to wire, the last 4 digits are 6443. Right there, you can put that in your phone, you can remember, and that way when you hand somebody the wire instructions and they say, well, John, what are the last 4? Yes, you can call us, right? The number on the instructions goes to Bridget. So you can call her, you can call me, you can text me, but you also are free to give the information yourself, where the goal is to give them the correct account number so the money goes to the right place. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understood how to provide wire instructions and what it looks like, and also what our account number is.
We're empowering you with these 4 digits.
Okay, Cora, I'll let you take over the sync tips and reminders.
Okay, if you want to click the button.
Sure. Do you want me? I think that, let's see if we can.
Okay, these are just all reminders, you guys. Use your reminders. If the lead is in your name, it must be in forward motion. This means there's always a future reminder in place. And note, you all know this, if a reminder is overdue or missing, the lead will be moved to the Shelley Client Coordinator pond, and the only way to get it back is to make 200 calls and get access to that pond. Okay, you guys are all great. So, okay, another reminder, only pin notes with important information. Voicemail is not important. Call is not important, but anything that's important that will help with moving the client forward in the sale.
Well, the other thing is, if there is a pin that isn't important, please unpin it.
Yes,
And
I'm
also
always
in
unpinning.
the initial conversation of what they're looking for.
That's
Yeah.
important,
That should be in there.
Yes,
I mean,
that
you
should
can go to different pins.
because
can pin more than
otherwise
one.
stuff gets buried all the way down
Yeah.
and,
That's what I.
yeah. But you can unpin too.
Wait, so I just want to make sure
Something
everyone
changes.
understands that. Does anybody have any questions on what to pin? And you guys know what pinning means.
Question about the pinning.
Very top.
I have a question.
Stephanie has a question.
Can you unpin somebody else's thing? Like,
1,000%.
whose
Yes.
judgment is if it's important or not? Like, if I look at it and it said, no,
If they said, I'm not moving, and then you talk to them, they're like, yes, I am moving, then unpin, then I'm not moving.
okay,
Or if one says voicemail, unpin that.
And
That's
so
not,
to answer your question, Stephanie, about whose responsibility is it, whoever is the agent that's looking at the profile in that moment. So remember, the leads that are in your name as an individual, as an agent, that's your responsibility. If the lead is in the pond and you're looking at the lead and there's a pinned note, then you're free. We encourage you, we need you to change it. That's the whole idea.
yeah.
I guess in the beginning, I almost felt like, oh, well, this is somebody else's notes. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, no, get over
It
that.
was not like that.
Get over it.
Important information like you have from the lead lady.
Yeah,
And
so-
some people take crappy notes.
Some people don't take the best notes, right? Okay, so the other thing is, so understand, I think it's a little bit, it's an interesting kind of like environment in many ways, because everyone's working independently and you're all your own business, but then we're also, there's a little bit, there's not a little bit, there's a lot of a team environment and teamwork needed, because we all want to save each other's time and our own time. So if you speak to a lead and they give you information that you don't accurately note in there, you're wasting a team member's time. So all of us should really try and be aware that other people may be reading your notes in the future or looking at your pins. So it should make you even more aware of what you're writing.
All right.
You have to, yeah, I know it's very strange.
Another reminder, call your new leads by 10 a.m. Actually, you guys have been amazing with this, so I'm just throwing that out there. And if a tip for anybody that's new is to set an alarm on your phone for 9:45 that says call new leads.
Can we talk about that for a second? The original idea of the 10 a.m. thing was not that people should call, let's say at that time. It was that they should call at least by then. Do you guys think that that's the right time? Like, should it be earlier? Should it be later? Do you find that if you call at 10, are there less responses?
California, I never call.
No.
Okay,
You
that's
gotta be
true.
aware.
It depends.
So
Okay.
It's kind of a crapshoot, like some buyers are totally fine talking at like
At 10.
8:45, 9:30,
Sure.
and some are totally not
Yeah.
into it, and there's nothing you can say to get through them at that.
And pay attention, maybe they logged in at 4 a.m. and they were on the computer, and then now it's like 9 a.m. They might be still sleeping. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, just like calling on like Sundays, like I call on
Right,
Sundays, and
Sundays.
some buyers are like, they think it's great, you're working on Sundays, you're reaching
Yeah.
out, and some buyers are like, I would never work with you because you called me on a Sunday, you asshole.
Whoa.
I have never had
I
that.
had that last week.
Me too.
I would tell them, I understand that, I understand you feel that way, but my job is to make sure that I find you a home. So I will work 24/7 to get you that home.
So I got a live lead last week and it was like 8:15 and they started yelling at me why I called them so early. And I'm like, but it was a response, like I didn't call anyone. I'm like, never mind.
Oh, they never register, you know how they say.
Right.
I never
Right,
registered
what?
with you, that's not me.
Right.
You make me sign in order to see this home.
Okay, another thing, be aware of your pipeline statuses. If they're not hot anymore, or you're not showing them anymore, move them to contacted or under contract would be ideal. So just keep those updated, please. Helps everybody.
I have a question. Is there a way, like with the switchboard, to delay the call by like 3 minutes? So that it's not like as soon as they click the registration button, they get a call? Because that is an objection I get.
But the
on
thing
a
is,
regular
though, the
basis.
thing is,
Same.
it's a speed to lead thing.
I know that, but
They're like- they're like,
when I was at
"How'd you
Sync
do
U, they
that?"
talked about like delaying the text
But then
message.
somebody
Like
else is
the way
calling.
Sydney did like a 3-minute
Right.
delay for her thing, and it actually gets a better response because it seems less
So-
like
So
intense.
like Kyle was saying, like that's kind of like a controversial
Right.
request because a lot of speed to lead is proven in the lead industry
Right.
to have a huge impact on whether or not, you know, we are able to engage with them.
And you think
But-
like a 2-minute delay makes that difference?
Well, that's-
I don't know. I've never.
According to all the research, it says that there is. However, I'm absolutely willing to try it. So if we do a vote.
I do.
Huh?
That's one of the biggest negatives I've heard is,
Yeah,
I just logged in, I didn't.
It's like 70% of the time, that's what people say, like, I literally just clicked the button.
Yeah, but can't we use that to our benefit?
I do,
Like,
I used to.
I do sometimes, but
Sometimes I like
sometimes
it.
it's just not right. And so people,
But
my
sometimes
question is,
people really want to talk right away. Okay, I'm looking for this one. This is what I do, and you know, I do this a little bit maybe harder, but the telephone lets you, they say this is only twice. So I don't answer as soon
I
as
do
the
that
first,
also.
I go and see what are they looking right away.
So you buy yourself a
And-
little
and
bit.
It's like
if
30
they're
seconds,
asking
though.
for something right away, because we don't know, if they say, I like this property,
that's fine.
then I say, I always check what are they looking for, so I always have my app. And I answer the second time, like, press 1 or 2 and give me time. to see what
Okay.
they're looking for.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I do think some delay seems to like.
I mean, we can delay it via the switchboard. There is a delay option. I'm pretty sure of it. We'll double check. If you guys want us to do that, we can do it.
I'm just thinking like a 1 to 2 minute delay and see what that does.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Worth a try.
Maria's is a great, like,
Yeah,
this is a
because
great,
this is the thing,
but that's
even
what
if
that
they do
buys
log
you
in-
around 35, 40
yeah, but
seconds.
this is the thing, if they log in, right, because it's not using somebody else, right? If this was Zillow, you know, whatever the case is, but as soon as you put your information in Zillow, somebody hits you up.
Right, but that's why we're talking like, you know, a 1 minute delay rather than like 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, they could go on other websites.
Also, Rona, just right now, about 70% of our leads are unique. Because are unique, they're registering on our site. Doesn't mean they're not registering elsewhere, but we're
No,
not,
But what I'm saying is with that delay, when you hear the full, they give you the full
Yeah.
information twice.
then it's,
That person's probably started looking at another
Right.
house, and by the time you call them, they're like, well, yeah, I was just browsing, and then you just have the conversation.
okay, so can we all agree that rather than changing the delay, we'll try Maria's method of letting the recording go twice to give us a little bit more time? You wanna try that?
You just refresh the app,
Maria's.
and it will come the first, that wheel comes first, and you can see everything, actually everything.
I do that anyway,
And you still think,
and sometimes I still get pushback.
But
'cause
if
it's
you
fast.
wanna get that, and
Either
some people
no
are
matter
so
what.
happy, and some people they're like, I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
looking,
true.
I'm just browsing, so it's like.
Can't please
okay.
everybody.
Yeah, why don't we try this for a couple weeks and then if people
If-
aren't seeing enough of a difference, try a
try
1
the
minute or 2
delay.
minute
Yeah,
delay.
I'm totally open for that.
We're gonna try Maria's method, we're gonna call it.
Maria's method.
Right.
All right, call partner program. So for the month of February, the call partners made 1,345 calls. Does everybody know what the call partners are? Okay, so yeah, we've got 3 people that are making phone calls in the ponds, trying to set appointments for you guys. And if you would like to join the program, we'll send out the link again so that you can join in and get appointments set for you.
I thought we were full. You had too many people, no? Okay,
I
whatever,
mean,
keep going. You wanna open
Somebody
it up?
wants to open it, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, they've set a 17 appointments in February. There was 1 contract written.
Yay, Sid, you wrote a contract today for.
2, maybe 3 lender introductions that have happened.
Does anybody have questions about that before we go to the next slide? About the call partner program? So we've kind of shifted it, by the way, from the idea of it being an appointment to just kind of warming them up and engaging to pass off someone to you guys that has been engaged. But it's a program that I really like. I like the idea conceptually. We're getting some good numbers. I'm hoping to see some more contracts and executed contracts coming soon.
The call partner thing isn't the same thing as the ringer. the
No.
Automatic ringer thing. Those are 2 totally different things.
Yes,
'Cause I saw
so
an email
the-
about that and.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
switchboard, I think is what you were referring to, is what makes an outgoing call to you when you're signed up for leads for that day. That's a switchboard, which is an automatic system in sync. The call partners are people. They're 3 people that are making outgoing calls in the pond because we have such a high quantity of leads and engaging leads requires so many outgoing calls. We have 3 people making these calls to get you guys more sales.
And he was talking about the dialer.
Oh, sorry.
No,
It's okay.
I didn't understand. The dialer is different, the dialer is, yeah, different.
So with them, they're basically like warming.
Yeah.
passing off.
Yeah. They're warming them up and passing them off. Try to give you as much info as possible. Try to find when are they available to have a conversation with you. So it might be something like, what's got you looking online? What are you looking for in a home? When's the right time? I'm going to find the right agent that can service you. When can they call you? Are you available tomorrow at 3? Great. I'll have Roni call you then. So that's kind of the gist of the conversation.
And then they'll just try to give you a rundown or just send you an email.
Yeah, so the notes are added into Sync. The appointment's actually set for you in Sync. So for example, if the call was set for you for tomorrow, it goes out via Sync to the lead so that they know that tomorrow they have a scheduled time with you. And then you get the note as well. And you actually have to be available. So what happens is it's a first come first serve like blast. So Courtney will send a message to let's say 11 agents, I think, that are in the program. Whoever is available to answer the call will then answer, and that's the person that is available. Okay, so we have a little shift in our preferred lender. So Adam and Josh with Dr. Mortgage are taking over as our preferred lender in both locations. So and it's absolutely nothing against Mike or anyone on his team. His team is awesome, but they're not local. And it's really important to me as we grow that you guys have the best resources available to you at your fingertips. So not only are they local, but they're also going to be on site. So if you haven't seen Josh yet, he's here. So they rented out that space. We had a tenant who just moved out. So our new lender has just moved in. Yeah, they're right here in Delray, and the same thing goes for our Wilton Manors location. They're going to take over one of the suites in Wilton Manors as well. The goal is to eventually have LOs, loan officers, at both 24/7, or not 24/7, but during the work week. Right now, it's going to be staffed. Like today, Josh is here with Barry, so you'll see kind of different people coming in and out of both locations. And again, the goal is to have an improved customer experience for you. It's to be able to go and knock on the door and ask them a question right then and there, even pass the phone over. When I met Mike, I guess it was 2 years ago, at that point he was living in Orlando. And then he ended up moving to upstate New York. And again, I really wanted a local partner that we could have local events with and lunch and learns and just continue to kind of build out relationships.
And some clients they really want to meet the person.
Yeah, sometimes they want to see them. Yeah, so now we have this opportunity. So I'm going to open it up for questions, but I also put some FAQs, some frequently asked questions that I would expect. So can you still work with Mike? Of course. I am never going to tell you guys that you can't. The idea of our affiliates is to give you guys a resource of somebody that knows us, that we know them. Our affiliates also contribute to our budget, and they're basically buying the leads, which means that they're buying the opportunity. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you can't give anyone else. You can, but all we ask is that you give the preferred vendor a chance, right? Let them go. Good. Let them go up to bat, so to speak, right? But again, if you have a question for Mike or anyone on his team, if you are already working with them or you have a client in the future that you want, that's okay. I'm totally fine with it. We're just shifting as far as kind of new relationships. Please introduce to Adam and or Josh. Are you raising your hand?
Yeah, is it just a relationship or lending with them? Like, I know
Yes.
they're both title attorneys.
They have title,
but
it's just a relationship.
We don't have that, necessarily that relationship.
Correct. It's just lending.
Okay.
Okay, as far as the lender channel, it will not go away. They're going to be available in Slack. They're going to be available on the phone. They're going to be available to text, all the things that you normally need. Sorry, and back to your question for a second, Tove. They have a title company and they're also attorneys, which to me is that's a check. It makes it even better when you're asking them questions. They can also answer questions on title. I know they also do provide an incentive to do both with them. I think the client saves the settlement fee of $595 if they do mortgage and title. So they're free to do that if they want. That's okay. But because they're attorneys and because they're also licensed title agents and because they're mortgage brokers, they can really provide a good service not only to the client, but to you. If you have a question about how something should be written or how to phrase something, they're good people to ask. Yeah. So they're gonna be available in Slack. Are they set up in Sync? Yes. So if you have a lead and you want to have Josh or Adam follow up with them, please just sign them in Sync. Otherwise, you won't be able to see your notes. They won't be able to see the phone number, the email. They won't be able to put their own note in. And understanding that there's other people, like Courtney might want to check and see if Adam or Josh had that follow-up call, it needs to be in sync. So we kind of like haven't been putting a lot of emphasis on this, but moving forward, we will, meaning when you pass a lead to our preferred lenders, please keep it in sync as much as you can, because when we do our weekly updates with them, I can put a little pressure and say, well, how's it going with Howard's client? Did you ever get in touch with them? Or were you able to get the pre-approval or whatever else I can do? So we all can work together when you use the systems correctly.
Do you just want us to pin that as a note, say we forward it to Josh and Adam?
You don't have to even do that, because if you assign it, I actually put a little screenshot here.
We're a little.
Yeah, sorry, but basically in this second field, so the first field is the assigned agent. The second field is the assigned partner. If you put, they're in there as one, it says Adam and Josh.
Okay.
If you assign them, then we know that they were assigned or at one point, you see what I mean? So you don't have to even pin the note. You can pin a note if there's a conversation you had with the lead. So for example, the lead tells you I've got perfect credit. I have, $25,000 saved. I need to get pre-approved. And then you give it over to Adam and Josh. That's an important, that's a lot of information. I would probably pin that.
Okay.
So as much as possible when it comes to notes, even if it is in there, Mike, like you could absolutely put waiting on Adam and Josh to pre-approve them.
I was just, for efficiency for your purposes, you
Yes.
guys are gonna screen it, try to make life easy for you.
That's
I can find
easier
something
that's
else in
easier
there.
than searching through everything.
Does anybody else have any questions about this shift?
I have a question.
Yeah.
The pre-approval. So if we have someone who needs to be pre-approved, so we just send them, I've never met Adam or Josh, like I don't know them. So we just like get in touch with them or have our client in touch with them.
They're here now, they're gonna be here Thursday
But the
too.
way I did it, I texted him, it was a Sunday, so I texted him because I don't feel like. And he texted me right away and then I did a text with the buyer and me, so.
So like they give them the buyer's information and then they can do their thing?
Yeah. So the best way to do that, Stephanie, is a warm introduction rather than passing a phone number that often doesn't connect for whatever reason. So if you do a group chat, so for example, if you were the lead, Stephanie, I would put you in a chat with Josh, I just texted Josh and asked him to come in, but what you're gonna do is just text and say, hey Josh, I have Stephanie on this text. Can you please reach out tomorrow at 11 to talk about her pre-approval? And then whether it's Josh or Adam or somebody else in their office, they will do that and note sync. But the reason why that's so important is because then the lead knows who the lender is when they're calling. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Because they like to hear that.
Okay, that's a good, I didn't think.
To get an offer accepted, it's important.
Okay. So did you hear her say that, Stephanie? Okay, so one thing that is helpful is to let the lead know that it is our in-house lender and that these are people that we have a relationship with. I think it gives them a little bit of peace of mind. So understand, you guys, when somebody is getting pre-approved, you guys, I don't know if you've ever been pre-approved before, but you have to give a lot of really personal information. You have to show your bank accounts, your income statements, your social security number. So absolutely, yeah, your firstborn child. I mean, it's crazy. Hey, speak of the devil.
Hey, nice to see everybody.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to put you guys on the spot. Come on. I'll do all the talking so you guys can just stand there and look pretty.
Sounds good.
But this is awkward because I'm sitting and you guys aren't, and my face just looks really big. But okay, so as we just explained, so Stephanie, you were wondering who they are. Here they are. Well, this is not Adam.
No, I'm not Adam.
No, this is Barry.
Adam
And
first, yeah.
and this is Josh. And like I was saying, they're going to be local at both locations. And if you have a client that you want to get pre-approved, just shoot a text, right? That's what we were just saying. A warm intro is best.
Yeah, like some sort of like group text is good. That way you can kind of be in the loop, whether or not
the borrower answers and say, we left a voicemail or something, or.
An
yeah,
email also?
Yeah, anything works.
And then I was also emphasizing to them the importance of adding you guys in sync
Yes,
so that you can see all the communication. And then
Right.
if you could also please update sync accordingly so that when Courtney goes in to see what's going on, she sees that you've made the call and all that.
yeah, I think like just as, yeah, like a process, you know, if it's in sync and then also like a group chat, like a text chat, because then the borrower is looped in there, that would be good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Since we have you guys, does anybody have any questions for them, Josh? I think we have a training coming up in about a week where we're gonna do a whole hour talking about how to get financing on condos. I think that's something that is always kind of a little bit of a sticky situation.
Yeah.
So that'll be helpful when you have clients that ask, you know, can I get a loan if I want to buy a condo? You will be better informed on how to answer that question.
Yeah, the answer is yes. There's always just like it's a little bit more difficult, but it's,
But
there's.
sometimes we don't understand, so it's hard for them, you know, it's not that we don't want to sell a condo, but it's not easy, like, especially if they don't have budget, like we said, so sometimes they don't understand.
Right.
They're coming from New York, they're like, why can I buy, I have
I don't know if you guys have been looking at budgets, but I've been finding tons of the new 2022 budgets have now added like full reserves, a lot of them up to like 16% reserves. They're like over
Yeah,
budgeting now.
I'm seeing that
Because
too.
of the CERB side, and they're all changing it, because there's no law that requires them to do it, but like now they've all seen what could happen if they don't have reserves, and they're all like over budgeting.
That's what I was gonna say. It should be like, you know, 18,
I'm
24
more
months
often than
out, a
not,
little
I'm
bit
finding
easier.
like 16% or more.
I'm also seeing a lot of assessments more with that intent.
Right.
Yeah,
And HOA.
like actually the Toscana is doing one.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
They're doing an assessment just to build up their
One of
reserves.
the buildings in Boca Chica, the
Yes, I
HOA
know,
now
I
is
know.
almost $800.
Right.
From 400, 800.
So that's the difficult part.
That's
'cause-
probably also a
That's
1 year or 2 year thing,
Right.
like some of the buildings
what
did
they
it that
said,
way,
but-
some of them did it through like taking out loans.
Well, yeah, this
Well,
is because they're gonna replace
Yeah,
the
they
roof
need
and
to
everything, but for
temporary
400
double
to
HOA.
800.
Well, that's the thing I was gonna say, because even if it has reserves, and then the actual monthly payment isn't, like principal and interest isn't so bad, the way that the association dues are calculated, it's not spread out over the life of the loan. So when you have something where it's a $300,000 condo, and then you have $800 association dues every month, a lot of those same borrowers can't be, they can't afford that. So because it screws up the debt to income ratio, but, you know, so maybe they just need to, they could get some sort
Find
of
another one.
gift letter or something, but to
Yeah.
help just the down payment, but we could talk about it next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
So
Bye.
Thank you guys. Cool. All right, we're almost done here. Let's see.
Oh, I meant to ask them if they could each put a picture of their actual face.
I so want to ask them that too.
It'd be much easier to remember which one is.
Yes.
I can figure it out, but sometimes.
No, but I thought
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's.
They're one of those groups that they've always done things together.
Yeah,
They've been best friends since they're 10. They're
Right.
Always Adam and Josh.
Yeah.
Like always.
Yeah.
Is it probably just?
But that's
maybe
Josh.
get like a weekly-
That was Josh. So-
Like a weekly report of some sort, and give us an idea of where, you know, if rates are moving,
Oh, like
say, hey, where the 30-year is.
Why didn't you ask? I
I
don't
know
know.
as you walk out the door.
You know what?
Knock on the door now.
I will.
You know what? I think that's a fantastic idea. Please do me a favor, go and ask him to do it after, because I mean.
Chat, yeah, every certain day, it asks for like a rate.
Oh, that's a good idea. We can, yeah, Slack has a lot of automations.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed, we have some cool automations in Slack, like for the meeting Tuesdays, cleaning up the fridge every Friday. It's a big one.
Update your.
Yeah, and actually, so today's the 1st of March, and we did have it go out in Slack. And if you haven't yet built a business plan, there's no bad time to build one, or at least think about it, look at one. But now that it's March, you can actually look back at February and say, you know, how many calls did I make? Did it work? How many showings did I have? How many contracts? What could I have done differently? What do I need to do this coming month? So it's so critical. It's so important to stop and actually think and update and instead of just going. So today being the 1st and us using that automation, please take the time to stop and look at your business plan. Okay, so moving right along, lead team marketing. Oh, super exciting. I myself went to make a mailer in the marketing center and thought the prices were high. Ooh, we have a really nice, I'm gonna pass it around, but this is actually a sample of Lee, your letter that you did, one of them came back. It came out really great though. It's really high quality paper. So I'm gonna pass this around. So a couple of big updates. First off, there's a 10% off discount that we're always gonna be able to use. So whatever the price says, you type in the number or the number 10 off and you get 10% off for any mailing. Has anyone here, sorry? I did try to get us more and that was the best I could do, but I have some other news on the next slide about what I'm gonna do to help. But before I do that, has anyone done a mailer other than Lee?
Yes.
Okay, and talk to me a little bit about it. Do you like doing your mailers? Do you get responses?
Because here, I am a la carte or whatever.
Yeah, you're.
So.
Oh, hi. Come on in. Yay.
Pass them around.
Thank you, Desiree. Cool. Okay, so here's the thing. You know, we talk a lot about leads. We talk a lot about calls, but let's remember that's not the only way to get real estate, right? It's one way. It's one way that we can control. But if you haven't yet thought of a farm or a building or an area that you want to go after, please do think about, you know, where do you live or what areas do you know really well? And start to think about, can you be that realtor? I'm a big believer in direct mail. It does work, especially if you do it consistently. I'm so much of a believer that I decided for the month of March, we will cover 50% of your direct mailer. So if you do a mailer between now and March 31st, I have some terms here. You have to order it on our marketing center and up to $300 total. So I just did a building in East Boca. So I actually did a mailing called the Magic Letter, which I've done in the past. I don't know if you guys have ever done that or heard of it. No, the Magic Letter is a letter where the one that I wrote said, you know, dear homeowner, I'm working with clients specifically interested in this case, it's a building called Marbella. I have clients specifically interested in Marbella. They are pre-qualified. They're ready to go now. If you have ever thought of selling, if you're considering selling, please call me. If you know somebody that does, please call me. I'm a full-time broker. And then I have my photo, my name, my phone. I said, this is the number to call me. This is my cell phone number. And this is my email. So I've done this before and I pretty much always get a call from using that specific letter. I actually do have buyers looking in that specific building, so it's not a lie. So I do encourage you, that's a good reason to do a mailer. If you just want to kind of establish yourself in a neighborhood or a building, you don't have to do that letter. You could just do a different type of letter. If you just sold a listing, you just listed a property, those are great reasons to do a direct mail piece. So
I was just working on one. I live here.
Yeah.
I want to be a realtor for the code.
I love that. Yeah.
I don't have any houses that I sold or I'm selling.
Yeah.
now, So I don't
No,
have
but
any
you can say,
pictures.
if you have clients, like I have three clients that I can't find, you know, so one's right here by our Lake Island. So what I've been doing is I'm actually driving and knocking the door or talking to the neighbor and, but then I'm gonna do the.
You're actually knocking on the door. Good for you.
I'm just gonna ask you, are you
Yeah.
cloned or?
No,
You have like a super speed.
It's true.
She works damn hard.
She does it very calm, too. It's very calm.
I know.
Spin around,
This is
screaming.
what I figured out. I think time bomb. I went to Valencia. I want to let you know something. You know how many people are in the list in the new Valencia? Yes.
I don't-
ask it.
how many?
I walked
4,000.
That's
The new Valencia portal. I went to Port San Lucie. I have a client.
wait, where is the new Valencia?
The new, right next to Valencia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, in front of.
That is insane. 4,000 and isn't Valencia, what's the price point? What's the starting?
Starting
point?
at-
900,000.
4,000 to get into that.
900,000.
Yes.
And that's like a 2-2 with 1,600 square
It's a
feet.
two plus of that, but
Yeah.
it's 550.
I've sold at the Valencia before. The commissions are good and they pay.
And then I went to, Lotus.
No,
Yeah.
no, they don't. They pay at closing.
I was gonna
Oh.
start on
Oh, they pay
1.3.
full.
My client wants to buy, but guess what? Right away, she said, okay, I'm gonna buy one. And guess what? 16 months to deliver it. So he said, no, I can't wait. And I'm like,
This is exactly the letter. I need.
so I'm like, I can't miss it. It's crazy.
Those letters are, they're already, those are pre-written in the marketing center.
Yeah,
So wait, so Maria, sorry, so what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do a mailing or?
So, and here, my client wants to knock down a house right here and build, he's a builder.
Wow.
You actually wants to buy too, but everything that comes in the market.
Right.
Even the house that is falling down.
Well, so actually,
Crash
but can we
land.
talk about the fact, so Valencia, the bridges, the 7 bridges, even both the bridges, all of the people that bought in those communities a year ago are sitting on a ton of cash, meaning their property values have gone up sometimes 400,000 or 500,000. So a mailing like this is a really good idea, because the other thing is that if you're direct with the seller, so if Michael, you're my buyer and Sydney, you're the seller, and you say, Bordata, I would consider, I don't really want to list it, I don't want to deal with marketing and having showings and open houses, I don't want that. And I tell you, Michael, there's only one agent involved, it's theoretically a 3% commission instead of a 6% commission. So the seller's happy because the seller's saving a little bit and not dealing with marketing, and the buyer's happy because they have no competition. So these the so-called magic letter, I'll send you guys a sample. I did change mine slightly. The one that they had in the marketing center was a little bit wordy, and you guys know me, I'm not wordy at all. No, but when it comes to this letter, I did remove words. So, and it's really short, and I've done 3 buildings that all went out yesterday. So I'll let you guys know I did. It was like 300 in the first building, like 180 in the second, and then 150 in the third. Chose 3 different buildings, 3 different letters that said this. And I'm really hoping that this will help at least get us some calls.
No, that's what we have to do. If we don't have houses on inventory, we have to look for
Right.
it. That's what when I wake up, I'm like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find them. So for my
That's right.
For my client, I say, what about if you buy a house under any of the bridges? Because he say I can put $200,000. The outside, the elevation is the same, like.
Yeah, it is.
So that's my plan B for him.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else for sale.
But you know what, what's important to me that I really emphasize to you guys is that we think creatively, we don't let anything kind of get in our way. If there isn't the right house, you go out there and find the right house. Mailers and other knocking on doors, other creative solutions exist, and they're all part of our business. It's not just calls. Calls are good, leads are good, but there's other ways to get business too.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So the first question is about the direct mailers. So what if, like, I'm in a 55 and over single family home community, and there are a lot of realtors in my neighborhood that send out direct mailers, but more and more people want to look here just because mine is, more reasonably priced than like the new Valencias and things like that.
Right.
Again, I guess this is how I was in sync about like stepping on toes. Like, I don't know why I'm so concerned about other people's feelings, but I don't even.
Wait, everyone in the conference room just raise their hand.
I'm gonna ask her one question. Do you think they care about your feelings or your pocket?
Did you hear that?
No, yeah, I hear that, but like, so farming areas.
Tove is saying if you live in the community. Yeah, good point. Did you hear what he said? Collect the mailers that are currently being sent out and do something different. Who cares? Get over that idea about stepping on anyone's toes. What? That doesn't, no.
Some people maybe hate the realtors in there.
Yeah.
I hate the realtors here.
No, Steph, unfortunately, competition is part of life. It's absolutely part of a competitive industry like real estate. So that's going to be a little bit of a shift for you coming from the world of teaching. But here in real estate, we don't care about people's feelings. That's not true. We do, but in so many ways. Only our clients and each other's feelings we care about. But when it comes to other realtors that are doing mailings in the community, there's nothing wrong. There's no reason why you can't also do a mailer. I don't see anything
Then
wrong.
I'm gonna do one. So what?
You guys
okay,
want
so
me to show you the mailers? I know it's a little bit late on time. Do you guys want me to show you how it looks? Okay.
Yeah. What do you say to people who say, yeah, I could get so
Thanks,
much.
Kyle.
What do you say to people who say, yeah, I'm sitting on cash, I could get so much for my house, but I have nowhere to go?
So, okay, this is a good question. I like this question a lot because I've heard it a lot. So what do you guys say when the person says, yes, I would like to sell, I'm sitting on a lot of cash, but where am I gonna go? So honestly, that's a huge problem in the sense that they're right. There is nowhere to go theoretically. Everyone's sitting on a lot of cash, and then if they sell, they're gonna have to buy and spend more. So there is no easy answer to that. It depends on their life circumstances. Are they moving out of state?
I'm actually very honest.
Absolutely be honest,
I
yeah.
went to a listing appointment and this lady, it was like 80 years old, I'm like, stay where you are. I can't find, I'm not gonna find anything. And, you know, I cannot sleep if I sell something.
No,
And the lady
so,
goes,
yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah,
honest.
so Stephanie, I don't know if you're hearing Maria's point, but the point is to always be honest. And in that case, she actually went to a listing appointment and told the seller to stay where she is because she wasn't gonna be able to buy something comparable. So we have to be honest. It really depends on the circumstances. If someone says, where do I go? That's not, we can help them if they want to buy something different that serves a different need, but we can't magically make houses appear for the price that they want. So that's not something that we can solve.
Well, but, for example, like my mother wants to maybe move from Boca West. And she said the same thing. So where am I gonna go? And I said, why don't we look at a few? My mother is super picky. So let's look at a few, you pick a few developments, and I think you're gonna have to sell to buy, because if you don't have cash nowadays, it's super hard.
Well, you can list her house. There's a lot of ways to make that happen, to like finagle it, list it, get a contract, use the contract to buy the new property. It definitely requires some coordination. Oh, that's what you did with yours, right?
I have a buyer.
Okay, so let's keep going because we're just about finished. Okay, so there is a newsletter that goes out. I know one went out last month that has some of our marketing tips and tutorials. So please look at those emails that are coming out. We're trying to give you as many resources as possible. Upcoming events. Oh, you guys, I'm really excited about this and nobody else is. So, okay, I think this is so cool. And I'm wondering if anybody wants to be on my team. So essentially there's a canoe race that's starting. So at our new location, there's a dock, and we are the first stop in this canoe race that Wilton Manors has. So it's they're celebrating their 75th anniversary, and Wilton Manors is birthday, not anniversary. Wilton Manors is having a birthday party, and part of their party is this canoe race where local companies put together a team. So you need 10 people on a team. It has to be, if it's co-ed, it's 3 girls, 7 guys. Each race, minimum of 3 girls. Sorry, what? Minimum of 3 girls in order for it to be co-ed. Each leg, there's 5 legs, so teams of 2, and each leg is only 1 mile, which isn't that bad on a canoe.
No.
Is anybody gonna want to do this with me, or am I the only one? Me and Claudia and Sydney? It'd be so fun. All right, I like it. Huh? Will you get a life vest? It's in a canal. It's like a. Okay.
First of all,
you guys, I don't like canoes, so Howard, you better start training. I'm just kidding.
I have my canoeing certificate.
Oh, you do? Oh, so you're probably very good. Okay, I'm excited. So we need 10 people. So I have Claudia, Sydney, so Howard, Juan, Kyle, are you in? Kyle, Sherry? Okay, cool. Tove. Okay, so and even if you're not going to participate in the actual race on that day, if this is May, by the way, so we have time to train. But even if you're not going to, please come on that day. It stops. There's 5 stops in like the Fort Lauderdale area. They're all parks, and then we have our building. I kind of feel like special. No. So I'm excited, and I'm happy that, so we'll send out a little thing, and I have to actually, we have to pay a fee to join, and there's information I'll send. So what we'll do today is I'll send out a request to see who's interested again. Please respond to it, because I'm not going to remember who raised their hand, and then I'll email you the routes, the other teams, and what we're doing on that day, but I think it's going to be really fun. Okay, we have our volunteering event with Habitat for Humanity. We only have 15 spots open because it is a restricted number. So if you want to attend, please sign up. Just send a Slack to Desiree or Bridget. Role playing this Thursday, we're working on pre-qualifying leads.
That's not supposed to be on there.
Okay, Kyle's Power Hour is this Thursday.
Yes.
And I think you want people to wear green.
Wait, go to the next
Oh
one.
God, sorry.
Oh boy.
You got a bonus gold doubloon. It's like the blue. It's like from what show was that from? Little Einsteins. It's a coin, but it's in like a cartoon.
It's racist.
Yes. Yes, I hate the Jets.
If I wear a Jet shirt, it's telling me I'm not gonna get the coin. That's racism.
Right there.
We don't like
I don't think,
that.
I don't think the Jets are a race. Okay, so please show up on Thursday and wear green. We are having a training on March 7th from 10 to 11, how to qualify, what we just talked about for a mortgage on a condo. CJ is having another contract training on March 10th. We have a lot of trainings coming up. Oh, and this is our save the date. I love this image. Yay. So on April 1st, like we've already talked about, between 4 and 6 is our grand opening. We didn't have enough participants and it was too much to coordinate. So we're not doing the party bus, but we are going to have valet. So when you, because there's not a lot of parking lot, you can see. Oh, and this you can see where we'll be canoeing right here.
It's on the water?
It's on the water.
My God.
Yeah. So
Is the dog
there's-
stay seated?
yeah,
Oh, so you-
this is my dog. Yeah, it's our dog, yeah.
So you could actually rent it.
Yes, I can rent it. I don't have a lift though. Anyway, so there's desks here set up. So for those of you guys that want to stop by, you'll be able to sit right there and the water's right there. It's beautiful. I was there last week and I didn't want to leave. It was so pretty. It's not yet done today. There are some glass walls being put in. Today they're being installed. So I would say by next week, if anyone wants to stop by, I'll let you guys know. We're still waiting on some furniture pieces, but by April 1st, when we have this event, everything should be there. You have a question, Jeremy?
No.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. And on this event, we're also gonna, so we have a ribbon cutting, so the City of Wilton Manors is coming. We will have a photographer there, we're gonna have ballet, we're gonna have music, open bar, appetizers, we're gonna give away some cool swag, we've got hats and tumblers and all kinds of things. Please come, you can bring as many people as you want, we want you to bring, you know, you can absolutely bring people, other realtors, you can bring your others.
And my marketing.
You can bring your marketing lady for photos, 100%. The more the merrier. We got a valet specifically because we knew and we expect people to come. We're inviting everyone locally. We're inviting the Wilton Manor and Fort Lauderdale realtor community to join us. It is a ribbon cutting event. So that the idea is for people to come and see the new space. Yeah, I think that's the last slide. Yeah, because we don't have time for that. We ain't got time for that. Okay, thank you guys. I went over by just a minute. Thank you guys, everyone on Zoom. Bye.
Oh, the lead team fee.
Oh, your lead team fee is due today. I think Bridget is sending out the invoice.
Got it.
Thanks. Bye.
I just don't want to go over.